In this session, we are going to be learning how to install 4 environments that we are going to be using in our Laravel projects. And as you can see, we need to install 4 environments in order to use the Laravel PHP framework in this course. The first environment that we are going to install is XAMPP. You need just to put this URL and you are going to be redirected to the XAMPP website where we can download and our XAMPP. The second thing, we are going to download Composer. You need just to put getcomposer.org. The third thing is Git, and we are going to be using Git during our course as terminal. And the last thing we are going to install is Visual Studio Code. You need just to put this URL code.visualstudio.com, and let us see how to install these environments. If you put your first URL in order to be redirected to the XAMPP website, you're gonna find all this, and here you can download XAMPP for Windows by clicking on this button. You can also download for Linux or for Mac, and you need just to download, and then we're gonna install this software. The second thing, we are going to download Composer. This is the Composer website. We have getcomposer.org. You're gonna do the same thing for the Git, which is going to be our terminal during this course. Do the same thing with Visual Studio Code. You can click download for Windows. Otherwise, you can click here. You can say for Linux or for Mac OS. In my case, I have already downloaded all this file. So what I need only to install different environments. The first thing, I'm going to install XAMPP here. I'm gonna double click on XAMPP. I'm gonna wait for a couple seconds, and I can also at the same time install the Visual Studio Code, the Git. I'm gonna click on OK. Don't worry about the French version I'm using, the same thing. And I can also double click on Visual Studio Code. I'm going to install several software at the same time, but make sure to first of all install XAMPP. The Composer must be the last environment to download. And here I'm going to say accept. I'm going to say next. And here you can say if you want to create an icon in your desktop. This is for XAMPP, and here you can say, and here I'm gonna uncheck here. I'm gonna click on next. I'm gonna click on install, and then I'm gonna install Visual Studio Code on my computer. And here I have a warning message for XAMPP. I'm gonna click on OK. I'm gonna click on next. And I can uncheck for the tab cards here. I'm gonna click on next, and you're gonna see the path. And I'm gonna click on next. I'm gonna click on next. I'm gonna click on next, and click on next. You're waiting. You're going to wait for your installation, and you are going to be redirected to the sites. And there is no special thing on it. And here we have our Visual Studio Code installation. Let us back here, and we can also install Git. Let us click on Git. We can click on yes. I'm gonna click on next, 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 and you need to click this red button here, and I'm gonna click after selecting this red button. You're gonna leave all by default, as you can see here, and like this, and enable experimental support. New, and here we can say I can click install like this. I'm gonna wait for a couple minutes. I'm gonna wait for my example. This is for my Visual Studio Code. This is for the gates, and I'm gonna wait for this installation, and after that we are going to be installing Composer. And our installation for Git is completed. I can click on next here, and the same thing for Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to be redirected to this website. I can close here, and this is our Visual Studio Code, and we have finished with our gates, and we are waiting for our XAMPP installation. And as you can see, we have finished with XAMPP. We can click on finish, and I'm gonna set my connection, and here we're gonna install also, we're gonna install Composer, and let us first see our XAMPP folder here. Our XAMPP is directory launched here. If we open our local disk here, you're gonna see we have XAMPP here. You can click on XAMPP. You're gonna find all folders. And here, what we're gonna do, we are going to install Composer. So you need to be online. Just click on Composer. I'm gonna set my connection here, so you're gonna excuse me. And you're gonna install Composer and click for all user recommended. Just click OK. And click next. And here you're going to browse and come in your XAMPP folder, PHP, and you're going to select php.exe. Just click on next. And we're going to click on next, click on install. So let us wait for a couple seconds. And installing, and let us click on next and finish. I think that we have finished to install different environments that we are going to be using, and in the next video we're gonna see how to set up a Laravel project. So this is what we're gonna do in the next video. Goodbye.